Tevin Farmer, was he robbed versus William Zepeda? I think he won the fight. What do you want me to do? I'm sorry. Tevin Farmer, William Zepeda. Listen, I want to give you guys my thoughts. I thought Tevin Farmer won the fight. I think because it was a Golden Boy card and Latino night that they gave the fight to Zepeda. But as you guys can see, he was dropped in, I believe, round 5. Now, I'm not one of these people that believe, oh, you got dropped, it's insufferable, there's no way you can come back from that, because we've seen it. I scored the fight for Andre Ward over Kovalev in the first fight, despite him getting dropped. But the way this fight played out, I seriously thought Tevin Farmer did enough to win. Plus, he had the 10-8 round. There were no other knockdowns, no point deduction. Good thing is there was no ref intervention, so the ref didn't play a part in this fight. I didn't even pay attention to the ref. It was a good fight. It was a good fight. And from William Zepeda, I really wasn't impressed, to be honest. He had no special effects. He's a guy that really just throws volume and throws a lot of punches. And I think he's beaten the guys to this point in the tier he's faced because they were older or inexperienced and things like that. And he just outworked them, out-hustled them, and they couldn't keep up with the pace. Tevin Farmer, being a former champion and being a more experienced guy, he knew what to do. He knew what to do for this particular style. And as a result, he had a great game plan. I thought that Tevin Farmer, if you had to have a critique, I would say this. I love how he fought. I love the game plan. But knowing that they don't want you to win, meaning it's Latino night, you're not Latino, it's a Golden Boy card, they've already put in front of you and made it very public that Shakur Stevenson could be the next one to fight William Zepeda. So they kind of had his next move outlined for February. Knowing that, I think there were spots later in the fight where Zepeda's throwing his volume, and knowing what you're up against and the card doesn't want you to win, you might have to do a bit more and put even more offense together. Now, that's not really right, because you shouldn't have to worry about politics in the sport of boxing. Boxing has scoring criteria, and you just got to win more rounds. But we know how the game goes. If you're up against a Canelo, if you're up against the promoter's, favorite or a promotional darling, then the odds are against you. So I think in some of them rounds, later in the rounds, after the knockdown, I think Tevin Farmer maybe could have put a little bit more steam. But, credit to Zepeda, it might have been because his youth and his hunger, and he was just putting a lot of punches together. So I won't say, I don't believe that fights are robberies because the guy that you thought won didn't win in a close fight. So in close fights, I don't really consider them robberies. But I do think the wrong person won. And that being said, what I've seen from Zepeda, I don't think he's ready for the top dogs. Tevin Farmer was supposed to be a barometer and like kind of a gauge to see where you're at. And to me, I wasn't impressed. The defense was very leaky. The DAZN commentary, let's talk about the bad and the ugly. DAZN commentary is trash. They are extremely bad at calling the fight. Sergio Mora, he was saying boneheaded things. They were making it like William Zepeda was up big and saying stuff, very biased things like, oh, Tevin Farmer, just him going the distance is a success and he needs to give the round up and he's a massive underdog. And it's almost like they're trying to brainwash the audience into viewing the fight with the favorite in mind instead of calling the fight as you see and calling the action. It was like, I don't like predictive type of commentary. Just call round by round what you're seeing. And they were making it like Tevin Farmer had no chance and that he was getting like drowned in there. And he wasn't doing good. I mean, there was a point where the zone commentator Chris Mannix said he doesn't think Tevin Farmer is doing enough offensively to get some of these early rounds. Literally seconds later, Tevin Farmer says, hop, hop, and drops William Zepeda, and then he lands and he's on all fours. So what are we talking about? You said he's not doing enough offensively. Literally, you see a knockdown, immediate 10-8 round. The other reason why I had Tevin Farmer winning was round 12. I thought the better selection of punches were landed by Tevin Farmer. There was a moment, I don't remember if they were lefts or rights, but they were consecutive. It was the same punch, consecutive, and Farmer was bombing on bow, bow, bow. Like, it wasn't that fast, but it was like bow, Zepeda reset, bow, got hit with the same punch, and he was just getting hit with big whopping shots. So the bad is this really hurts the plans that they have. And coincidentally, your boy Ego called it the best in the business, and it's not even close. Ego Stradamus strikes again. I told you that this was a stupid plan. Anybody who watches my channel can attest that I called this. I told you it was a dumb plan to put an inexperienced Zepeda in with a Tevin Farmer, veteran, slick, southpaw type of style, who just gave Murataya a tough fight and knows, like, he needs a win, right? Because he was coming off a loss to Murataya. It's a bad style matchup, and we were going to either see Zepeda take off and show that he's at another level and do what he's been doing. He got like double-digit stoppages in a row, or he was going to get exposed. And from my knowledge and my intuition, I said that Tevin could play spoiler, and I think he should have won. Now, I can't be held liable for politics. Like, I thought Amanda Serrano beat Katie Taylor again. The politics and the judges not seeing it my way, and seeing it the same way, I can't be in charge of that. But, the real that watches it and scores it, they know what it is. And I told you this about Tevin Farmer, that this was a bad style matchup for William Zepeda as a precursor to Shakur Stevenson, because Golden Boy, I guess, thought that this would ready him for a guy like Shakur Stevenson. But to me, it kind of exposed his deficiencies. He's a volume guy with heart, decently durable at this level, and he throws a lot of punches. But based on what I've seen, I mean, I never thought Zepeda was what old media said he was. You guys are the ones that hype up all these fighters that haven't proven anything. I remember people were saying like, oh, Tank Davis, because Zepeda is ranked in his sanctioning body. I think he's ranked in most of all sanctioning bodies. So Zepeda is getting close to becoming a mandatory for Tank. And I remember reading comments where people were like, oh, Tank will duck Zepeda. Zepeda will beat him, because you guys don't know about boxing. So you get hyped up off of hyperbole, and because he's stopping other guys, but he's not stopping no one near the level of Tank. Then he has a step up with Tevin Farmer. Mind you, Tevin is not even a big puncher, and he drops him and hurts him, and he's rocking him. And to me, he was too hittable. Even in the 12th round, which I said was a good round for Tevin Farmer. So no special effects. Zepeda, he was getting hit too much. And then, like, that's Tank. People are like, oh, but Tank doesn't throw that much punches. Yeah, but he's also shorter, and he's also a southpaw, but he hits a million times harder than Tevin Farmer. So you guys do the math. You don't have to power, and somebody concussing you, that'll slow all that volume down. You don't have to worry about volume if you get cracked and or knocked out. And the shots that Zepeda, like, you can punch with him and catch him. That was exposed here by Tevin Farmer. So definitely a good performance, strong performance by Tevin Farmer. Really wasn't impressed by Zepeda. And the zone commentary, they were like, he's a machine. Bro, I'm not impressed with what impresses the zone commentators. Like, a person throwing a million punches. What about your accuracy? What about your skill? What about, some head movement? Tevin Farmer was also mindful on defense, and Zepeda was missing wildly. So Zepeda, we know he's not fighting Tank. I don't even know if Golden Boy will continue to put him in with Shakur Stevenson, but if they do, he's not beating Shakur Stevenson from what I've seen. And you guys are going to cry, say Shakur ran. Now, Shakur has a different style than Tevin Farmer and a different mentality. So Tevin Farmer versus Zepeda, I think, will be a more fun fight. With Shakur, he's just going to beat him, probably 12-0 him. It's going to look like closer to the Oscar Valdez or even maybe even Edwin De Los Santos, Artem Haratunian type of fight. And then people are going to complain and say, oh, but Shakur ran and stuff like that. I don't think it's going to be as engaging. Tevin Farmer, tough Philly fighter, comes from a fight town where the character Rocky comes from. So he had a gritty performance with the defense. I don't think Shakur is going to gamble as much, but Shakur is too sharp, in my opinion, to lose to a Williams Zepeda. The experience is not there. And again, there's things you can do. I don't think Shakur is just going to he's not going to be there to be hit like that. You have Tevin Farmer, who's mid-30s, and he's been stopped, has losses, had ups and downs, and really inactivity in his career. Shakur's younger, fresher, and doesn't have all that. He's never been stopped, never lost. He's an Olympian, and Shakur's not going to play the same exact game. So for me, Zepeda has very little chance, and Tevin Farmer, despite losing on paper, he just played spoiler like I predicted and made Zepeda look vulnerable to the point where I don't even know if we get the Shakur fight next. I don't really even want to see it. I mean, as a boxing fan, I'll watch it. I'll cover it. I don't have nothing against it. But based on my knowledge and what I seen tonight, this was going to be like an audition tape. How you handled Tevin Farmer, or if you handled him, was going to determine if my mind changes. And instead of my mind changing about a Shakur Stevenson fight, the Tevin Farmer and what he did and the successes that he had only reaffirmed what I felt. So you guys hyped up Williams Zepeda. Golden Boy, hyped him up. He's solid. But for me, you shouldn't be getting hurt by Tevin Farmer if you're next level. Like Canelo Alvarez, you never seen him get dropped by Austin Trout or a person who had moderate to low power that can box. So the defensive lapses that I seen from Zepeda, it really hurt his ranking, and Shakur is going to be a big favorite. Shout out to Tevin Farmer. Thought you won. Let me know what you guys think.